صباح الخير أحمد.
أهلا بروف، صباح النور.
كيف الأمور؟
الحمد لله تمام.
أحمد، أريد منك المعلومات عن اليوتيوب تبع الأيام الثلاثة، يعني كيف ممكن يتابعوها، كيف ممكن تخلي لهم البرزنتيشن لبعض الناس اللي يعطونا البرزنتيشن.
هذه أنا بسويها في الويب، حتى مثلا في السكجول نحط كل متحدث اللي موجود سلايد ماله، نحط السلايد ماله، واللي ما موجود ما نحط، ونحط الفيديو رابط يعني للفيديو.
رابط ممتاز، يعني خليه على الويب.
أيوة، تكون في الويب يعني.
أيوة، لأنه أريد أذكرها في الجلسة الختامية إن شاء الله.
أوكي إن شاء الله.
إن شاء الله. يعني بالصفحة الويب عند السبيكرز.
أيوة عند السبيكرز بحط هناك الروابط.
أيوة. عندي هسه إقامة على الإذاعة، يمكن أطلع شوية من الويب هذه وأسكرها، على الأقل أسكر الفيديو والصوت.
أوكي طيب.
إن شاء الله خير.
إن شاء الله.
أحمد، إذا تريد تخلي الصفحة مال المؤتمر هسه.
أوكي.
السلام عليكم.
وعليكم السلام.
كيف الحال؟ شو أخباركم؟ خير إن شاء الله يا رب.
الحمد لله نشكر الله.
Can I show just my presentation to check, if possible, please?
اوكي.
Yes. Yes, I think it's okay. Shall I keep it like this or take it because I'm the first speaker?
السلام عليكم جميعا.
وعليكم السلام.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله
عليكم
وبركاته.
السلام دكتور عادل.
يا حي الله مرحبا.
حياك الله.
كيف الحال يا جماعة؟ كيف الحال مسقط وجامعة سلطة قابوس؟
يا مرحبا دكتور نوفل، الحمد لله رب العالمين.
حياك الله. مشتاقين لك دكتور.
بروف كيف الحال؟
الحمد لله.
شو أخباركم؟ كيف العائلة الكريمة؟ إن شاء الله تمام.
الحمد لله. هذه فرصة سعيدة جدا 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 يعني.
الله يسلمك، بعدنا مع بعض في نفس السيشن.
اكزاكت.
ما شاء الله.
لازم نشكر بروفيسور عبد الناصر واتاحنا الفرصة هذه.
واحمد الفارسي بعد للاورجنايزرز ما شاء الله عليهم. They are doing quite good يعني excellent preparation ما شاء الله عليكم.
شكرا لكم. هذه الصدفة ترى صارت. الصدفة صارت انه انتم في نفس الجلسة، يعني كنتوا في نفس القسم والان في نفس الجلسة.
الحمد لله رب العالمين، الحمد لله.
الحمد لله الحمد لله الحمد لله.
ما شاء الله. Then very good. It's great. Well organized. ما شاء الله يعني بالرغم ان يعني everybody's busy لكن الحمد لله. Very good session so far. I think we have about less than a minute, then we'll start. Inshallah ta'ala. This is the final session today, inshallah.
Yes.
So let's get started. Thank you all for coming. Thank you for your time. Thank you for being with us for the past 3 days. Amazing sessions have been presented in the past few days. Today is the last day of the symposium, and this is the final session today. There are 3 interesting topics, 3 speakers within the next 2 hours. About smart education, getting ready for preparing the infrastructure for the future and for tomorrow. And then the final presentation will be on digital economy. First, let me introduce you the first presentation for today. The speaker, actually, I have the summary of the speaker, but I will provide my own summary of the summary. So my apologies if I miss anything. So our first speaker for today is Professor Zuhur Abdullah Al-Khanjari. Prof. Zuhur Al-Khanjari is a professor of software engineering at Sultan Qaboos University. Prof. Al-Khanjari leadership's role is manifested in various assignments. She previously served as head of the Department of Computer Science and as an assistant dean for postgraduate studies and research. Her active engagement and participation in shaping educational policy and as an educator can be seen in her various administrative national positions, by leading a board of trustees and by serving as a member and a deputy chairperson of Education and Learning Committee in the State Council of Oman, and as a member of Education Committee in Oman Chamber of Commerce and Industry. Today, she will shed a light on her thoughts about what it means when we say education is smart and whether smart education is really smart. Prof, without further delay, Prof. Zuhur, the floor is yours, and you have 25 minutes. If you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section.
Thank you very, very much for the introduction. And inshallah, just I will be on time and I will finish, inshallah, just quickly, my session. I hope just everybody can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Okay, I'll start now. Just Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Thank you very, very much for inviting us originally just to the conference and or to the symposium. And it was really just great to, be actually and share our knowledge as well with the symposium. Let's start with the the concept which usually actually we are getting and we are hearing from here and there. Is smart, we are using the word smart by itself correctly or not? So today's, today's lecture actually will be, is the smart education really smart? And what exactly, we want actually out of this? I will indicate this one as a concept actually completely, and I will take it, from the complete thing over here, what exactly I need and what, whether really just a smart, education is, smart or not. Let's just start our, content over here completely. What exactly we have? From the content, just I will introduce the concept by itself, or the idea by itself. I'm taking it actually as a debate completely. Does smart mean intelligent? What is the meaning of smart originally? Just we are getting it, and why we use it actually as an intelligent. Is human smart? Goals of smart, just I will go through these ones over here. After that, just I will introduce bit of smart city, smart education. I will move after to smart learning environment. And of course, just the main concept actually with us and the main concern to make our learning management systems of the, e-learning as smart as possible to be engaged and, integrated into the smart city. And of course, Oman Vision 2040. After that, inshallah, just I will conclude my speech. Let me start as the introduction. Why almost all of us actually think that smart is equal to intelligent? What exactly is happening over there? Let's just see if really just smart, we are taking it as intelligent is correct, debated concept over here. Let's see. We are using actually smart person. We might use it. Yes, a smart person. We might feel smart person. That means this sharp person, this intelligent person. But what about smart tool? Is the tool going to be intelligent enough to think and to understand what exactly we are telling, the tool? What about smart device, a smart technology? And at the end, just we have smart education. So all these ones over here, being smart, in what context exactly we use them to prepare our smart city? And we'll see just, further what exactly we mean. Does smart mean intelligent? This is the debatable concept. And let's see what exactly I did. I took the concept and I went actually through the dictionaries and to search at least what exactly we mean by smart. Although just our colleagues actually in the literature, they indicated that thing. They use actually smart not as intelligent. They use it with goals, and we'll see inshallah in the following slides after. So as adjective, if I will take smart, the word smart in British, just they're using smart person as a clean person, tidy person, and well-dressed person. Informally, if they're using it, having or showing, a quick-witted intelligence as well. They took it as clever, bright, and intelligent, as well as coming over here, sharp. As a verb, if you will take it, is part of a body. Feel, or cause a sharp, stinging pain. That means again, not, as intelligent. Hurt and ache. That means not intelligent. So they're using smart in other contexts as well. What about if it is noun? Sharp stinging pain, and informal actually used, in North American as intelligence. So is it intelligent, or what exactly we are doing? Is human smart? We are taking human being, as really just he is smart because he's intelligent and sharp and whatever thing is. But once about, what about if he dressed actually well? Shall we call him, smart as well? Let's see further. What exactly we have over here? Goals of, smart. If I'm going to take the, letters, individual letters actually of the word smart, if you will see just S is taken as a specific, and we will come to know what we mean by the specific. M for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic, and T for timely, organized and controlled. And if I'm taking the goals, these goals, and more detailed or depth, deeply, and I will say specific, what exactly we are trying to accomplish, what is the task actually we are going to get, and know, yes, I want actually to achieve this one over here. Measurable, can I measure it? Yes, I know how to go through it until just I will reach my goal. Achievable, I have to ask myself, can I achieve that one? Can I get the result at the end? Realistic or relevant is what I took actually the task, where I took actually the things over here, the approach. Is it realistic? Yes, I can do it, or only just, I'm taking it because I don't know actually what is going to happen at the end. So all these four, concepts, these four goals, with the fifth one, which is timely. That means I have to control as well the things within time limit. I cannot open it and without actually being able to do the things after. A smart city. What exactly we mean by a smart city? Is that intelligent city? By itself, the city will become intelligent, or what exactly will happen? If you will see smart city along with the smart technologies, that means we have to enhance the city, the application actually which we are using in the city to become smart and good, city, whatever thing over here, and we are taking them smart technologies as well. Both of them are very, very, very important now, increasingly becoming important. Few factors are considered as well as the drivers of the sustainability of the smart city, and as well to be competitive, city within the smart cities, other cities as well. The most important factor is what the smart city actually needs: the readiness of the citizens. Are they ready to take and face the new lifestyle which will be, given or already will appear in the smart city? What exactly they need? They need actually smart knowledge to be embedded in these citizens so that they will be able to carry on, the new and face as well the new lifestyle. Citizens need to be smartly educated. That means we need actually smart education to help them as well to become smart and to be, able to integrate to the smart city environment. So we need actually in all areas. We don't need it only just in science and humanities and all those things, so that we will prepare the citizen correctly. Smart education, that means which we will need, as a pillar, very important pillar actually for the smart city. We will come now to the question again: is a smart education really referring to being intelligent by itself? The answer is obviously no. Education is not by itself actually intelligent. However, with the technologies which we are embedding into the education, yes, it will become smart. And in this way, it should, be able to achieve the goals actually, which we already stated with SMART. So smart learning or smart education, of course, includes new technology, educational context, new approaches actually of education. And mainly we are talking today about the smart, e-learning or electronic education. Focuses, of course, on the learner's use. Learner's use of what? Of the new technology, which should be embedded actually in the education environment, in the electronic education environment. And of course, just visual learning. What do we mean exactly by visual learning? If we will take it, we are using smart, technology elements. And in this way, just such as graphs, images, charts, presentation, which are highly effective, of course, and make the learner can take and grasp the material easier, in an easier way and a quicker as well way. Let's see now the environment. We need actually the environment to prepare the good environment, good smart environment for this smart education. What do we mean by exactly smart learning environment, SLE? Promote effective learning for learners. And in this way, we have to use the approaches which will help us actually to do all those things, and provide as well, adequate learning resources, and as well, good tools for interaction, because they need actually to interact with each other. So without preparing the environment for them, the good environment, I cannot actually help it and I cannot actually promote it. The idea of a smart education now to capture, of course, approaches for good teaching and learning, and as well to benefit from the utilization of the available smart technologies. A lot of smart technology is there. So how to integrate this kind of technology into our, environment, our education, to make it, or to be smart. Let's see now, we will go to the learning management system, e-learning, and what exactly, we are taking. We need them to be smart. By themselves, they have a lot of tools, embedded tools, integrated tools. However, what we need is still, as teachers, as learners, for example, from these learning management system, we can extract so that we will, use them effectively, and in this way, we will make them smart as well for ourselves. Let's see what exactly we have over here. Academic institutions, worldwide, academic institutions being schools, being universities, colleges, even centers, use learning management systems. So all of them actually, they use them. So in this way, they facilitate our process actually to utilize and reuse the learning management system, of course, and to integrate, new technology and new tools to the learning management system to make it, more effective and more, of course, smart as what we want. several novel architectural models actually we developed, within SQU by itself, with the MSc project, PhD projects, and this what I will, I'm choosing nearly two, I will go a bit deep on them, and one of them only just I'm using the tool as well. So what exactly these, novel architectural model have been designed for Sultan Qaboos University's smart learning management system. And this what we utilize them already, and we got a lot of information and a lot of positive, answers to feel, yes, we are smartly educating our learners. This one, of course, to foster smart education and as well to integrate them. Where exactly we want to integrate these tools, which we are preparing, and the architectural, models in the smart city, and not only in the smart city, to fulfill one of the, goals of the main goals of Oman Vision 2040. And these architectures, of course, just to integrate, as what we said, a smart learning environment into the service layer. We have a service layer and the framework of the smart city and Oman Vision 2040. Let's see what exactly we are taking from here. So smart, learning management system. If you will see, just this is our model over here, and we are creating it. It is surrounded already by the national strategy of, for education 2040, and as well which is of course one of the pillars or the most important goal in the Oman Vision 2040, and where we are going to keep it. We are going to keep it in the service layer, which is this is the layer services in the smart city. So this is our intention. Actually, we did it already, and we published a lot of papers according to this one. I think my student Iman, PhD student, she's Dr. Iman now, and she is as well. She did this project with me. Currently, just finished. And what exactly we want? So for Oman Vision 2040, we want actually the e-learning by itself, educational, approaches with, of course, how to use it and governance, those things, plus all of them integrated into the vision by itself. So what we have national strategies, and we have, quality of established actually for this purpose, and supporting technology or supporting tools for the e-learning. And in deep, if I will go and see what exactly we did actually in this layer, and if you will see the connection actually between different layers, this is what we have over here. Our tool actually, our complete architecture, we have actually the users being academic, instructors and students over here. We have them, all of them, they're using e-learning learning management system, which is Moodle. And in this way, just, we enhance those things with different tools. One tool actually, to prepare the predictive model, that means I'm going to get information from the database, log files, available in the learning management system, and to get, information to help the instructor to prepare and customize the material using, of course, another, MSc project actually product, which we can customize the material from very, very simple resources, examples, videos, text and links and whatever. So we can just enhance the Moodle again, and we can put actually new material over there, customized material for the week and average student to enhance their level. And again, just we can put them, into or predict their performance. And in this way, just, we are contacting as well with the database of the complete learning management systems. In this way, we are making them, we're using them effectively. That is a smart learning management system. If we are going in deep, actually, layers, which for the architectural model, which we prepared already for the learners, we have, of course, the instructors and users or student learners. And we have, of course, the link, as what we said. This is Moodle, where all of them, they can log in into the Moodle, and they can select. And this one, of course, actually, our colleague as well, helped us over there, doctor, actually, in using, or already he taught actually this course. And we took the information from that course to enhance it and to check what exactly we have, log file for the students and how we can predict. And we have, of course, in this layer over here, which is linked again with the complete, learning management system. And we have it to predict what exactly we have, to predict the engagement of the student, behavior of the student, personality of the student. Are these three factors can affect into the performance of the students or the learners? And what we took actually, yes, they can, and they have very, very strong relationship, and we will show you, inshallah, just soon. from where exactly we receive this data, from the database, the learning management system, we can call, the learning management system actually more effectively using this data through the models actually we are preparing. And we can call it now smart learning management system, because we are enhancing them directly and we are getting the full information. Of course, just we can model this information by itself to be presented for the instructors, where they can enhance their available material in the learning management system. Now, if we will take it deeper, this is the complete thing over here. We have a student, he's logging into the, of course, learning management system with this specific course. And this specific course over here, what exactly the student is doing is using different, components, being lectures, being, like exams, other, chat rooms and all these things actually, the learning management system is following that student, to check his engagement, to check, of course, how many times he access the lectures, how many times, or when exactly, even the time when he did the exam and all those things. So prepare that one, and we will take actually that information over there and to be presented into different ones, into the, engagement, to the behavior, to get the behavior of the student. And we are showing how we are getting actually from that data. Of course, the data is not ready. We have to prepare them actually to collect all that information, and as well to get the personality. And these three factors, we tried actually to use them to get the indication of the student performance. And this performance over here, we are going to get it, into another tool to check the performance. If yes, the performance is, the student actually is an excellent student, so no need to, do further things with this, excellent student, and let him just try to exit from this tool and try to utilize the system as it is. However, for the very weak students and average students, we want actually to promote their education. So what to do? We are sending reports, actually preparing and sending reports for these weak and average student or average students to the instructor, and allowing the instructor actually to customize new material for those students and enhance them, of course, or integrate them in the prepared learning management system, where the students can go back to that one and can go to the material available and can enhance their level to become, of course, at the end of the semester with a good level. Maybe just the average students, they can go actually to excellent level, and the weaker students still will be in average. That means still we can enhance further during the semester, not coming to the end of the semester without getting any indication actually for those ones. So in this way, just effectively, we use learning management systems actually in a smart way. And this what we received, if you will see just over here, the engagement of the student, behavior, personality, along with their performance, we have actually a very strong relationship between these factors. And these are the ideas actually of the students. Of course, we took it for several courses from the College of Science and from outside as well, the other colleges and at SQU. And we got a good performance actually of this one. Not only just this, what we did, the student actually, or the Dr. Iman already prepared the tool actually for this purpose. So the tool is getting, helping the instructors to give information to this tool and get the afterwards just the information about the students and how they can prepare their customize their complete information, or customize their new material and enhance the learning management system further. What we took actually, what we did, the tool coming, and trying to get the information from the, of course, getting them from the learning management systems, we got nearly the same as what we did manually. This what was done manual with these students, and this what the tool actually presented to us. It's nearly the same, and that means the tool actually we achieved our goal, what exactly we want, and it can easily be integrated with the learning management system, where all instructors can go over there and get the benefit actually of the available tool. That means again we smartly trying to use the learning management systems and in a more effective way. Another, project actually, which was a long time actually, we did it 2 years back. This is an MSc project. And what exactly was the purpose? Now, to enhance the learning management systems, we need actually tools to be available, smart tools, and use a smart technology actually. The student actually will come and log into the learning management systems. However, if for any programming language, for course or engineering course, for example, they need simulations. They need virtual labs. So from where exactly we'll get them? We have actually 4 approaches. We indicated those ones. One of them is only just to give the student within learning management system to make them more effective and more smart, link for outside. What the student will come and click on this link, they can go outside the learning management system, do their preparation over there, do their labs, and then just, they will come back to the learning management system. So it is not heavy to have it in the learning management system. The other approach is this one will need actually space in the server of the learning management system where we are saving the learning management system. And this one, of course, component based. We are saving the compiler of the programming language or the simulators within the environment of the learning management system, and which might make it heavier. And as well, the other thing, not to utilize the server where we are saving the learning management system by itself. However, we are getting the link to another server where we can utilize and we can use the complete thing actually in that server, and again just come back to the environment. And the last approach is to use service-oriented environments. Service-oriented environments, again, just we are linking the user to find what exactly they want from outside, and we will link that service to the learning management system through which the user can use that service which they want as a tool, as a simulation, as for example, complete design based environment. All those things they can use it. And if you want to see it just in deeper with the service-oriented architecture, yes, they can just find, for example, whatever just we need for the environment. They can find the service. Once they will find it, it will be bound to the or integrated, of course, with the learning management system until the user actually will do the task, and then just we can release that service. And of course, all services we can actually prepare through the learning interoperability tool, where we can prepare them ready for the environment over there. They can search. And over here as an example, we are talking in Moodle, which we're using currently just in the Sultan Qaboos University, as activity actually plugins, and they can see several tools over here. They can select where they will see the environment, where we are integrating them into the learning management system so that they will become again smart with the available technology. And this is a deeper look actually for that one. This is the last slide. I'm finishing. And this one over here in the Moodle, as what we say, the course, the users, of course, they will come, they will select the course, which exactly they have. Say, for example, if they will take a Visual Basic, and we can go to simulation or the compiler where they can find the service and they can finish it completely. And this what we did all to enhance actually the learning management systems, which is very, very important to be for the smart education. And as well, smart learning, environment enhances the smart education, of course. And at the end, the advances of smart education, of course, it is needed for the smart city. And at the end, we are coming to tell you again, smart means to effectively use the technology, but not as intelligent as as what we mentioned at the beginning. Thank you very, very much for listening. And if you have just any question, I can just answer, inshallah. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Zuhur. MashaAllah, you finished on time. Thank you for the interesting session. Are there any questions? We have about 3 minutes.
I think we have to check Q&A, maybe just if there are any, nothing is fine.
Nobody has posted. If nobody has question, I think I have many questions, but let's give the chance to the audience. So I think nobody has, so I think I have a question. So just to summarize, Dr. Prof. Zuhur has talked about, has started her talk defining what is smart. And she interestingly classified smartness into adjective, noun, and a verb. She presented the National Strategy for Education in Oman and her project, and not only LMS, Learning Management System, but Learning Management System, which is, I found it very interesting, the tool of tracking student performance that tracks behavior, engagement, personality, and performance. So quick question, we have 2 minutes, but my question is, Prof. Zuhur, is, since nobody has, no, there is one chat here. Let me see. No, it's not a question. So my question is just very simple question. You know, I think in the 17th or 18th century, I think Jean-Jacques Rousseau participated in a competition writing essay at that time, before the Enlightenment, you know, and the title of the competition was, "Has the advancement of science and arts helped to destroy or to purify and increase moral standards?" So the same question to you is a smart education, smartness, does it help, will it help to improve the ethics and morality?
As far as what we did actually over here, yes, it is completely just controlling the things actually. And this is what we are taking, you know, the task with the achieving a goal actually over there. Even with the chat rooms, if you will see, a lot of things might happen within, you know, that environment of the student. Ethically, they have to deal with it in a, you know, in a smart way, and as well in an ethical, you know, context. We cannot just actually allow the students to do whatever just they want within that context. In this way, we are trying to effectively, you know, enhance their or improve their understanding of the subject, rather than to keep them only just, you know, work and in an ethical way, even with these, you know, like solving the exercises or something. Sometimes what they might do, they can copy from each other. And we have plagiarism tools, you know, to detect that one over there, and we can inform them through the learning management system as well that what you're doing is, you know, unethical thing actually. And in this way, just they can go back actually to the smart environment, and they can enhance their or improve their understanding.
Thank you very much. Very interesting. Thank you very much, Prof. Zuhur, and many thanks for the interesting talk. Really appreciate it. Now we are moving to the next session.
I have another question. Still we have time?
It is. You have a question, Prof?
Yeah, simple question. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe
Quickly.
simple. People are afraid from any smart systems or intelligent system. So whether this intelligent education will replace the teacher, or still we need the teacher?
Okay, what exactly, you know, we will say? I think this is the again debatable question. Actually, most of the instructors and teachers, they are afraid of you know, e-learning is coming to replace them. No way, actually, we will replace, you know, the like all teachers, I will say, but few of them, yes, we might just, you know, get them actually to be replaced by the e-learning, the management, the system actually by itself. You know, I still remember actually when we applied e-learning and, you know, SQU, my instructors by themselves actually, in the, you know, within the university, they informed me just why, Doctora, just you want us actually to move to e-learning. You don't want us anymore just to be with you, just an SQU. I told them, no, this is not the purpose. Why we need actually the teachers over there. The teachers will be, you know, the manager of the complete task over there. Without the teacher, without, you know, being involved actually to prepare the complete material, we cannot actually move with the course even. The course by itself should be prepared smartly. You know, we have tasks, we have, you know, like units, chapters, and all those things with, you know, a lot of tools embedded into that one to try to control the complete process actually for the students. So the teachers, we need actually to teach the teachers, intelligent teachers and smart teachers actually to be available in the environment still. So we're not getting rid of the teachers over there.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much as well for, you know, inviting me actually to present this topic, which is very, very important topic actually for us nowadays. Thank you very much. And I will keep my colleague, Prof. Nawfal actually to give his speech as well. Thank you very, very much. Shukran.
Thank you very much, Prof. Zuhur. Now we are moving to the next another presentation. I think this is a very good segue from Prof. Zuhur's presentation, Smart Education, to Prof. Nawfal Karim. So let me just briefly introduce Prof. Karim. Prof. Karim is a professor in computer science. He has more than 32 years of experience in teaching and researching in computer science. His work revolves around software engineering, requirement engineering, and data science. Very interesting. Yeah. Prof. Karim is an expert of Smart City and IoT, and a chair of Research and Knowledge Exchange Committee at the University of Al Manar, in which he is also the coordinator of his PhD program. He worked with a range of government, intelligence, mashallah, intelligence and business organizations in a number of research groups and labs in UK, US, France, and Indonesia. He will be talking now on AI in education, the urgent need to prepare future instructors today for the school of tomorrow. Without further ado, Prof. Karim, the floor is yours.
Just wait 1 minute. See my.
Can you make it full screen?
You have.
Can you make it? Yeah, it is clear now. Thank you.
You have my screen?
Yes.
See my screen? Okay. Thank you very much. First of all, I would like to thank the organization committee to invite me to talk in the symposium. And just I have to draw your attention that the work presented today is the result of teamwork of what is in Europe of the European Commission. The title of my presentation is Preparing Future Teachers for the Basics of Artificial Intelligence in Education. Today, in the face of beside volatile and certain complex ambiguous world, education can make the difference as to whatever people embrace the challenge. They are confronted with or whatever that are defeated by them. And in area characterized by a new explosion of scientific knowledge in the growing rate of complex and the social problem, is appropriate that curricula should continue to evolve, perhaps a radical way. In fact, we need for a new solution in our fast changing world today, because societies are changing fast, and to cope with the rapid and or fast change, we have identified 3 challenges: environmental, economic, and the social. For the first one is the environment. For example, climate change and the depletion of natural resources requires urgent action and adaptation. The second one is the economic. Scientific knowledge is creating new opportunity as a solution that can enrich our lives while at the same time fueling this disturbative waves of change in every sector. And at the last and third challenge is a social. As the global population continues to grow, migration, urbanization, and decreasing social and cultural diversity reshapes countries and communities. As you can see, in large parts of the world, inequalities in living standard and life change are widening, while conflict, instability, and inertia, often linked with populist political, are eroding trust and confidence in government itself. At the same time, the threat of war and terrorism are escalating. Also, we need a broad set knowledge, skills, maybe attitude, and values and action. That's why we will need a new technologies such as artificial intelligence for education. As an introduction, we have to explain the link between AA and education. The link between the AA and education is not new. They have worked both ways, but one of them has received until today more and more attention than the others. The first conference of education, as you know, the first conference of education throughout artificial intelligence dates back more than 20 years. The challenges have since been very varied, and we are now taken up by strong multidisciplinary community. Research projects have been funded by the European Union Foundation, in the same case by individual countries. The goal is to use artificial intelligence to support education. An emerging industry has evolved covered by the same educate, which is not strictly AI. And the issue has been studied in a number of reports. While the issue of education, everyone about artificial is new, that of training expert of the industry has been around for some times. In most cases, AA, artificial intelligence, requires a solid basic knowledge of computer science and mathematics. The growing importance of data science, artificial intelligence, and machine learning is currently driving a change in computer science programs. The main question here is maybe what is the important to train teacher in the readiness of AA education? And the second question, what are the 5 proposed pilot of this mining? And before to start to answer the questions, I would like to share with you a sequence video as a testimony of importance to train teacher in the rudiments of AA educations. Okay, we continue, maybe don't we continue to try to answer the first question. I have to remind you that AA application will be present on all fields. Thus, one could simplify add to use of apps to the individual skills required by teachers, and but that would probably limit in many ways teacher ability to adapt to new application. It can be said that children are going to be raised in a world where artificial intelligence will be ambient, and that they can therefore be called native AA. As well, teaching coding and computation thinking has been strongly advocated since 2012. And many countries have now introduced the subject of AA. Learning to code isn't just about gaining technical skills. It's about being able to test your own idea instead of just implementing someone else. And of course, there is a heavy dose of idea in artificial intelligence, which means knowing how to code can help to use AI creatively and understand the underlying questions and concepts. So artificial intelligence is defined as an extension of computer science. It's also introduced a new idea and concepts. And again, I have a second sequence video. What I want to share with you, it's about how will AA affect learning and teaching.
AI is not only therefore we really need to come together, join forces, So I think AI is an area where collaboration is really fun.
Okay, we move for the second part of my presentation, and to present the 5 pillars to train future teachers and the rudiments of AA in education. I have to mention that AA has not reached maturity. I'm sorry. Look, that's not reaching maturity is even more difficult to predict how technology will evolve even in the near futures. It's possible to propose, as I said, to propose 5 pillars to get at the right track to train teachers able to lead program based on artificial intelligence. The first pillar is identified, is what is defined, what is data. I'm sorry, just, okay. The first pillar is data awareness. AA will rely on data. While the algorithm is at the center of the computation, it's much less than the case with AA, where often the efforts will be focused on collecting, preparing, and organization data. But data education, not data science, of course, will be based on activities where data is collected by visualized, manipulated, and analyzed. On the other hand, large amounts of data justify that algorithm be taught more carefully at tests because much more complex. And for each pilot, we have defined 3 criteria: teacher area, skills, and training aims. For the first one and for teacher area, we need digital skills. For skills, the teacher can understand the basic of data science. And for training aims, teachers should be able to manipulate, visualize it, and extract information for large data set, explain the different aspects of data, the origin, confidentiality, size, and so on. The second pillar is code and computational thinking. Coding, as you know, coding and computational thinking are not part of the curricula of many countries. Even in Oman, in Sultan Qaboos University, in the computer science, my department. In many cases, AI code consists of using a library of programming language that allows us to manipulate large amounts of data with very few instructions. But a good use of these techniques requires some coding skills. And the expert use AI, for example, doctor in medicine will need to understand the algorithm in order to know when to trust to the machine learning decision. Efforts have been made in different countries to answer this question and the related question of teacher training. Again, for the second one, and we have to define, we present the following table with more description and how the subject could be introduced. Coding and computational thinking are taught today in the number of countries, so they are different. And for the 3 criteria, the teaching area for this pilot, second pilot, we need digital skills. For skills, teacher can code, write sample programs, and understand algorithms. That's it. Training for training aims, teachers must be able to consider problem solving through computational thinking, to code in the language in which students have been trained, to explain basic algorithms, to compare different algorithms, to write very simple programs. The next one is uncertainty. Uncertainty, as you know, AI means new forms of determinants that deserve our attention. Why predict systems are taken too serious, and we are told, for example, for our children 1 year old is going to become a scientist or have a complicated social life due to abusive use of data, not understand how this prediction work can be used a lot of damage. It's very important to understand that the prediction offered by AA are not basic threats, but estimates and how they should be interpreted. And we present now the tables of the more formal description for how the subject could be introduced. For this teaching area, we need partial the math skills. For skills, teacher can explain how and why situations are more likely than others, explain the uncertainty of predictions. And for training aims, teachers should understand and explain why predictions are not always accurate, access basic probabilities, understand, explain basic concepts. The fourth pillar is post of humanism. The previous four as you see, the previous four pillars can be adapted to existing skills, aptitude and teaching profiles. The one we are introducing now may be more difficult to integrate. It's very, very based on our experience. The key idea is that the advances in AA make us as a human rethinking in some threats. And the last pillar is critical thinking for AA. The social sciences can and should contribute to many ethical questions raised by AA, and critical thinking is an important aspect, but it is important that is based on real understanding how technology works. As concrete examples, when trying to detect fake news and informations, really important question, it is often suggests that the answer is really in finding the primary source of lying and common sense. Maybe this is a great answer, but less useful in many situations on the web for AA generated text or image or videos. This is a problem. Today, the answer is combination of understanding the concept of digital culture and to be able, and the ability, to use algorithm to build beliefs. And for the three criteria teaching area for this one, we need social and digital skills. For skills, teacher can be technology to access digital risks and resolve issues around the new in the media, critically evaluating new sources. For training aims, teachers should be able to assess digital situation, risks, opportunity, threats, impostures with the use of existing technology, find quality and safe information of the internet. And at the end, we have to suggest you some recommendation for our work and our project. And as recommendations corresponding for our focus and questions, we recommend to promote equity and inclusive use of AA education, gender equity of AA and AA for gender equity, ensuring ethical transparency and auditable use of education data and algorithm, monitoring, evaluation, and research. Thank you very much. And again, I would like to thank you for organizing this very successful symposium. Symposium has been great, very great success in all possible respects. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Karim, for the interesting presentation and for the different ideas you have presented. Let me see Q&A. There are no questions. To just briefly summarize Prof. Karim's presentation, he started presenting the three very most challenges that need urgent solutions, like environment, economic issues, and social issues. And then he presented the 5 pillars of AI in education: data awareness, code, and computational thinking. The third pillar is uncertainty. post-AI humanism, and finally critical thinking for AI. And he concluded his presentation providing some recommendations like equity and inclusive use of AI in education, gender equality, etc. Anyone has any question? We have Dr. Al-Umari. Please go ahead.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Naufal, for the very good presentation. Nas. My question is that is there any framework for implementing artificial intelligence in education?
Yes, we also now we develop a framework, but it's going. It's not still not to prepare. Not maybe we need the. We have developed 20% of the framework. Is going.
Okay, thank you.
And will be test. Maybe will be test. This one is in Africa countries because we have contact with these countries and we have agreement with these countries. Some countries in Africa.
Yeah, because this is very important for the researchers to follow some framework. It will be very helpful for them to implement artificial intelligence in the education.
Yes, it's going like the framework. Maybe actually we have developed 20% of the framework. It's developed by research student, MSc and PhD student.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Alauddin. We have one more question, Prof, from Hajar. She's asking a question. Thank you, Dr. Karim. Have you applied this model in Tunisia? If yes, what challenges have you faced?
That I said not yet, because this is this work is a part of the European project, and actually, and until now, we have not really tested this project or this. We need to finish our framework, but in second stage, on next stage, we will try and test our framework with in Tunisia, maybe in Africa, and why not in Oman, inshallah.
Very good, very good. Thank you, Prof. Are there any more questions? We have about 3 minutes, 4 to 5 minutes. I have questions actually, but yeah, but the priority for they are our clients right now, so they have the preference. Any questions? If not, I can ask, because we still have time, like 5 minutes before the final session or the final presentation. So if there are no questions, one question, Prof, and that is, you mentioned the 5 pillars, and the second pillar is code and computational thinking. My question is, these days, we are talking not only about predictive analytics, but McKinsey, they go to prescriptive analytics. So they are talking about low code and no code AI. So what is your take into integrating these advancements in the second pillar?
The second pillar is about code in the computational thinking. Yes. Okay, it consists of because coding and computational thinking are now part of curriculum for many countries, And when we define this, and we find this pillar is very important for the country when to taught coding and algorithm and problem solving, and it could be very important for this country because if you, as you can see. If you take the example of Oman and computer science department, the coding and the computer thinking is taught in this department. Is we find this one also for many countries and many universities, many schools, maybe is very important. For the season we have defined as could be this pilot could be very important.
So you are advocate for coding, or okay, my kids, I want your advice. Should I encourage them to learn coding or to develop apps with no code or little low code platforms out there? What is your recommendation?
To code a little code.
Little, oh, okay.
Little code, because actually, and we can find a lot of framework and case tools to help you to code, to code.
Very good. Thank you very much, Prof. I think anyone has any question? We have less than a minute. No questions. Please join me and thank Prof. Naufal Kareem. I don't know how to pronounce Kareem or Kareem. I cannot.
Graham, that's it. Graham.
Okay, my apologies. My sincere apologies.
No,
Graham. I should have double checked that with you first. So thank you very much again, and thank you for the interesting presentation. Many thanks. Thank you. Now we go to the next presentation. Probably I can introduce. I should wait 2 minutes because I have to go by the time, you know. So some people are joining sharp at 11. So, Dr. Alauddin, you will conclude with ختامه مسك إن شاء الله تعالى.
Yes, inshallah. Thank you very much.
إن شاء الله تعالى. Okay, so let me just introduce our next presentation. So we have now a very interesting this is a very interesting sort of like a topic that has to do with digital economy, because all of the previous sessions about education, smart education, preparing future generations and instructors, they at the end of the day they lead into the digital economy, and this is what Dr. Alauddin Al-Umari will present. So let me briefly introduce Dr. Alauddin Al-Umari. He is an associate professor of computer engineering at the University of Bahrain. He is the founder and the managing editor of the International Journal of Computing and Network Technology. His interests revolve around computer architecture, computer networks, and artificial intelligence. Dr. Al-Umari received recognition in several capacities. He received the Japanese Monbusho Research Scholarship Award. He received the Best Paper Prize at the 2015 International Conference of Biomedical Engineering and Environmental Engineering, and received an Author Excellence recognition by Emerald Publishing in 2017, and an Excellent Tutor by Hawaii Middle East ICT Competition. Now I will, without further ado, I will let Dr. Al-Umari to present his talk about FOSS security risk and their mitigation to boost world digital economy. The floor is yours, Doctor.
I cannot share it from my side. I don't know why.
Mohandes Ahmed, ممكن, yeah, you can share it now.
Okay. Can you see the slide now?
Can you make it in presentation mode?
Yes, okay. Okay, thank you very much. And I am delighted and honored to be with you today. I also thank the organizing committee for letting me share with you my thoughts and presentation. My presentation is about the free open software security risk and the mitigation to boost the world economy and education. I will start by talking. A lot of my colleagues already talk about the free open software. I just go fast on that advantages and what is them, what are they, and how they components are used in, and I will concentrate on the threat and mitigation of the open source of using of this open source software. and then I will conclude. I will mainly talk about the things that can be faced when using free open software, open source software, and the errors and security threats, how can we to mitigate them. Usually, the free open source software is software whose code is available for public inspection, modification, and enhancement. Typically, this software is created through community collaboration and is maintained and updated on volunteer basis. The open source software can be used according to the variety of licenses, depending on what the creator has implemented. Examples of Linux, OS, Apache, web server, WordPress, Mozilla, Firefox, Google TensorFlow are just a few of the most used software available. We also understand software giant like Microsoft and Google emphasize the importance of the free open source software in development software. Microsoft has already undertaken key projects, Virtual Studio Code, TypeScript, with more than 16,000 contributors to open source software. And Google also has key open source projects, which is flagship machine learning library TensorFlow. The advantage is cost effective. It offers quick feature integration, easy access, and often maintained by others. Speed product time to market. Developers can use these high quality functionalities to better concentrate on their product functionality. And so, how to use the free open source software in institute or company code base? We have many scenarios. The first scenario is a whole FOSS component is used within the code base. The second scenario is certain files of the FOSS component is used within the code base. And the third is code step-based form from the FOSS component is used for code base, or a mix of 1 and 2 and 3. So, and also the need to manage. It's not only using companies and institutes need to manage the use of the open source software. They need a policy, usage policy. They need complete identification, license compliances. The thing here, security vulnerabilities, the auditing, workflows, integration with software development and production infrastructure and processes. There is many cybersecurity risk associated with the use of the free open source software due to its community construction and largely unregulated distribution. A variety of risks, including some cybersecurity risks, come with the use of open source software. With the transparency of open code come the risk of many eyes looking for vulnerabilities to exploit and potentially weaponize. There is many cases of, in 2015, repacking of Xcode or for malicious code distribution. Security firms alerted Apple that 39 applications available through the application store were infecting iPhone and iPad. Once downloaded into the infected device, the malicious applications connected to remote command and control server and upload the sensitive user information as part of a botnet. In 2016, also, and the following dispute about naming rights and unreleased open source software package, a well-known developer removed all of their open source software package from NPM, and the software registry used to distribute some code, which is in total developed and deleted. They deleted 273 packages from their store, but the problem rested primarily with one left also. In 2017, Python package attackers created malicious library with names that are closely resembled the name of built-in Python library, and unsuspecting the developers downloaded the malicious one instead. The malicious package contained the same code as the origin, except for the installation script that was changed to include malicious code. In 2018 also, they have hijacking a cryptocurrency stealing Python package called Colomora was discovered in Python software repository. The name of the package was deliberately meant to be associated with a confused from legitimate package, with the same name. One of the top 20 most downloaded piece of software within Python repository. In 2018 also we have the backdooring event. In 2018-19 we have the web bin compromise beginning at April 19, 2018 and 19, discovered in 2019. Popular web and in July 2019 we have another takeover of popular Ruby gem package. In August 2019, discovery of 11 backdoor Ruby gem library, and most of these attacks come in the library used by open source. The open source developer, we can just divide them into two types. We have the founder that can, a giant company like Google and Microsoft, or a single author or a small team of volunteer developers. The open source libraries maintained by the internet giant companies like Microsoft or Google have better security check and vulnerability update than small teams of volunteer developers. Most open source developed by small team of volunteer developers libraries targeting specific features may not be designed with the security in mind. How often the code is audited for vulnerabilities is completely unknown and almost certainly not a part of any formal process. So the dangers come from mostly from these single author or small team volunteer developing software. Why we have security risk here? Because FOSS is rarely well documented or tested, especially for the small team of volunteers. There is no fixed version, there is a lot of version. With the trust, and also companies need a reliable way to identify the free open software components that are in use. And with the transparency of open code comes the risk of many eyes looking for vulnerability to exploit. The main threat, we can summarize the main threat is that the excessive access, the lack of verification, a lack of support, widespread use of outdated version, and open source library threat as attacker insert infected code inside the FOSS library intentionally and publish them for attacking intention. So the excessive access, open access means the code is available to all, which creates opportunity for cyber threat actors to manipulate code maliciously. Using FOSS can give threat actors opportunity to gain access to your network and information. The lack of verification, there are no guarantee that qualified expert conduct proper testing and quality assurance throughout the development of the open source software, or that those who review the code truly check its security. So this lack of verification can make your IT infrastructure vulnerable. Lack of support. Most free open source software does not have dedicated support. And maybe for some of them they have this, but you have to pay money for that. Without the proper support team update, this and security patch may not be available. If vulnerabilities are discovered in the software, cyber threats actors can exploit these vulnerabilities to gain access to your organization network or system and information. So here the responsibility of the project community that is maintaining the free open source software is to report and patch any known vulnerabilities so that the users will be alerted and can take action for that. You see that the attacks that already happened many times. So this is because of the attacks that come in with the libraries and attackers. The open source library can deliver tremendous benefit to development teams but it can also contribute a lot for the digitalization and the prosperity of the world, but it may be used by attackers. And this is what happened for the last years. A high percentage of the code in many applications today may originate from open source libraries. The inevitable existence of vulnerabilities in these libraries lead to significant open source risk. Many development teams make the mistakes of believing that open source code is inherently safe, or at least safer, because the code has been developed and used by many people who would have previously identified the problem in the software. But this is not true. Application built with open source code contain an average of 7 vulnerabilities, and 44 of those programs contain critical vulnerabilities that can lead to major breaches. This is as reported by this site, whitesourcesoftware.com. And with no one in charge of ensuring that vulnerabilities in open source code are published or fixed or patched, open source risk continues to plug, and development teams worldwide. Only about 1/3 of the teams regularly perform vulnerability testing to secure open source code. So there is 78% of the companies run open source software, but less than half are managing it properly. The cause of open source libraries here, these may include non-vulnerabilities, vulnerabilities inherited from other libraries, or vulnerabilities that have been fixed but reappear because the library version, you are using old version, and we have 0-day and half-zero vulnerabilities about which little is known, making it possible for criminals to exploit them more easily. Also, we have the malware. Sophisticated attackers are now using simple techniques to create libraries that appear to be innocent, but actually contain malicious code, or are updated with malicious code at a later time. At the beginning, they have it ordinary library, and then they have update, but in the update, they insert malicious code on it. So open source libraries containing malware can quickly lead to compromise of the web application, and are frequently used in ransom attacks. Ways to mitigate open risk resources. The project against vulnerabilities and malware in open source code, every institute must take specific steps. First, you have to enforce security policies. Companies must have policies that govern how developers access and use open source library. Be sure to use the right up-to-date authentic library. Understand what open source library are being used for and where the vulnerabilities are. Also update vulnerabilities library regularly. Collaboration between application. Here we have to make collaboration between the application security team and the development team. It's very critical. As update to library can sometimes break application. So also to mitigate the malware. This is the most effective way to stop the malware, is to create warning for developers who are accessing vulnerable libraries, and to create enforcement rules on continuous integration servers that will fail to the building if a valuable part of the library with high open source risk are used in the code. And there is tools now available also in discovering these things. Okay, so before acquiring a new software, the organization should determine the level of risk that is tolerable and can be accepted. When your risk tolerance is clearly identified, you can narrow down your choices and pick the software products that support your business need and security requirement. And before installing a new software, your organization needs to measure and mitigate the vulnerabilities, such as logs, audit, and incident response process. Also test software before installing it, and test software that throughout its life cycle, such as when it needs to be updated or patched. Continuous monitoring and testing can reduce the risk of exploits. And when using the free open source software, you should manage all software using the same procedure and tools that you use for commercial projects. As always, train your employees on cybersecurity best practices that can help them securely use and manage software projects. There is some tools that are used for fixing vulnerable packages. We have the OWASP tool, we have the Sonar Cube tool, we have FOSS tool, many other tools. These tools will give you, for example, the first tool, give you 10 related issues for developers for the to test the injection or broken authentication, sensitive data exception, XML external entities, security misconfiguration, and it will give you hotspot and vulnerabilities. So, and this is available tools that can be used, and it will give you dedicated report to track project security against the top 10 issues here, I1 to I10. And also to report facilities communication between categorizing vulnerabilities in term developers understand. Okay, track compliance at a project or portfolio level, and differences vulnerabilities fixed from security hotspot review. Security hotspot are uses of security sensitive code. They might be okay, but a human review is required to know if they are okay for sure. As developers code and interact with security hotspots, they learn to evaluate security risk with learning more about secure coding practice. The security vulnerabilities require immediate action. So we have the Sonar Cube provide issues, detailed issues description and code highlight that explain why your code is at risk. So you just follow the guidance, check and fix and secure your application. So these also a very good tool is the FOSS. The FOSS open source vulnerability scanner will prevent vulnerabilities from entering the code base, and also fix multiple issues at once with smart remediation tips and update strategies, quick fixes with review patches and release comparison for complex workflow support, and also have minimal false positive from well-guarded, updated, and accurate vulnerability database, and give you notification and alert and real-time security state and status is also available. So this is one of the best tools that can be used to test any software you are developing using the open source. Yesterday also Mr. Eric was explaining about a new development secure operation that are coming from Amazon, which has three objective for build faster development and make it secure and keep it stable. So this is also one of the very, very good development tools that can be used also when making software using open source. Okay, help you to build from the beginning here security. It will give team and community effort, not a person, automated and automated security, and also it will audit. It will edit the code for you. Implement the control segment to validate and audit code and artifact as part of the process, development process. In conclusion, many education institutes and companies benefited from the use of open source software, and there is no reason not to benefit as well. However, knowing the risks posed by open source software going into the development process will help you to avoid pitfalls associated with sharing crowd source code. And by taking into account the risk and implementation protection strategies, in addition to other as required to secure your system, you can help ensure the safe use of open source software. We discussed many ways that can be used to mitigate open source, from policy to tools. It's also helpful for fixing vulnerable packages. The institute should manage all free open source software using the same procedure and tools that are used for commercial products. The institute should also train their employees on cybersecurity best practice that can help them securely use and manage software products. The software will give you a lot of advantage as we see it before, and it's contributing a lot for the education, and we have a lot of software. We have a lot of software education. Actually, it was in the slides. They use it in education, but I thought that the time is limitation of 30 minutes. I could go for that, so I just omitted some part of the software that talk about free software that are useful for education. And I believe a lot of my colleagues before me highlighted a lot of these things. These are the sources that I use for the presentation, and thanks for listening, and time for question and answer.
MashaAllah. Thank you very much, Dr. Alauddin. On time, exactly. I should learn from you guys how to be a good timekeeper for myself. Okay, so before we go to Q&A, let me just, thank you, Dr. Alauddin, because you have nicely summarized your presentation in your final slide. To just supplement that with my own reading, Dr. Ala started his presentation by talking about FOSS, about its advantages, the enterprise uses of FOSS, and he gave an example of companies like Microsoft and other companies like Microsoft has Visual Studio Code. He also talked about how FOSS is used in companies' code base. Then he alluded to FOSS management and its components. And I really like when he talked about cybersecurity, in which he talked about the main threats like excessive access, lack of verification, lack of support, widespread use of outdated and finally open source library threats as attackers, etc. So, but and thank you very much, Doctor, for making conclusion by offering some suggestions like tools, open source tools to mitigate security threats, and the tool that you have mentioned for vulnerability scanner. Now let me go to the audience. Do you guys have any questions? Any questions? If you don't have questions, I always have many questions.
Yeah, welcome.
Okay, so just let me see Q&A, nobody there. Okay, so one question is, you mentioned an interesting statistic, Doctor, that is 78% of companies that run open source. I mean, 78% of companies run open source. This is very interesting finding. But then you say that less of those among those companies, 78% who have adopted open source software, less than 50% of these companies or these solutions are not effectively managed. What do you mean by less than 50%, or half of them are not effectively managed? In what way? And what is your guideline for those who will be adopting open source?
Yeah, this is a statistics come from the white paper published in 2016, Future of Open Source Survey Results, and they claim that 50% of 78% of the companies run open source, but half of them are managing it properly. Managing it properly means that they are following the auditing and from time to time auditing and see if there is vulnerabilities information, and also mitigation, and so these the things that used for management actually. Also installing patches and other things. So just they use it and forget about managing it. This is the I think the statistic what this statistic talk about.
Very good. Thank you very much. Which is very promising. I mean, very promising to see, like many companies are now FOSS advocate, and they are working to liberate, you know, commercial businesses. Are there any questions? Any questions?
Yes, I have a question.
Yes, Prof. Karim, تفضل.
Okay, thank you, Graham. Okay, so thank you very much, Dr. Aladdin, for your nice presentation. And usually when we have some KPI to measure our risk on the securities. Have you defined some KPI to measure, for example, your vulnerability?
Actually, this is I think that are done by some expert to measure how much security. I think there is some here. You have to depend on the situation actually. So you have to the organization should determine the level of risk that it's tolerable and accepted, and also before installing they need to measure or detect, mitigate vulnerabilities, auditing and incident, and also to check authentic site, and also when installing it, train employee and use a procedure and tools, non-commercial, use the same procedure that you are using for commercial products to that. And I think that this, the one here, the open, this tools that we have here are doing this automatically.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Aladdin Al-Umari, for your answers and for your interesting presentation. In the end, please join me to thank Dr. Aladdin Al-Umari and the previous speakers in this session, Prof. Naufal and Prof. Zuhur. Now we have reached to the end of the final session in this interesting symposium. Now I will move the mic to the dedicated guy of this entire symposium, Prof. Abdel Nasser, who is the chair of the organizing committee and who has been here since day one, who is wearing multiple hats actually. And he will make concluding remarks as well as some comments for the symposium. Prof. Abdel Nasser, the mic is yours.
Thank you very much, Dr. Adel. Thank you for your nice organization of this final session. Really, we come to the last session, to the closing session. I want to say at the beginning, I want to thank. Are you seeing the presentation, Dr. Adel?
Yes, واضح دكتور. It is clear.
Yeah. So let me at the beginning thank all the invited speakers, keynote speakers, industrial speakers, and invited speakers from the universities for their active participation in this symposium, the International Symposium for Adoption of FOSS to Thrive Intelligent Education and Digital Economy that has been held here by Zoom platform and registered as one of the activities of Muscat, the Arab Digital Capital 2022. So we are proud to have this symposium listed under these activities of Muscat, Arab Digital Capital 2022, And this, of course, means how the Arab countries are trusting Muscat and Oman for their digital transformation and innovation and digitalization, of course. I would like to thank all the participants who have been registered in this symposium and participate along the 3 days of the symposium. We wish them that they have gained advantages from this event. Of course, I would like to thank all the session chairs, Dr. Adil Bousaidi, Dr. Daoud Al-Abri, Professor Zuhur Al-Khanjari, Dr. Khalid Al-Saadi, and Dr. Shaham Al-Alloush. Thank you for moderating these sessions very efficiently. I would like to thank my colleagues, Mr. Khalil Ma'wali from the Ministry of Transport, Communication, and Information Technology, Mr. Ahmed Al-Farisi, and Mr. Aoud Al-Darmaki, Mr. Yunus Al-Kharrousi, and Mr. Ibrahim Al-Zakwani. Those people working with me at the Communication and Information Research Center, and without them and without the help and assistance of Mr. Khalil Ma'wali, we cannot have such a symposium. Thank you very much for your contribution. Really, I have sent an email to all speakers to give their comments about the symposium and any suggestion for next events. And I have received some from 5 speakers, and we are open to receive more and take them into consideration. This is from Professor Dirk from Erlangen University in Germany, who was our main keynote speaker at the opening sessions. The symposium seems well organized. It works smoothly for me, although we bring him at 7:30 in the time at Germany. So, but he did that very efficiently. Sorry for that, but this is what the opening session should include such a valuable keynote speaker. So he has some feedback about the conference, and he said that interest in setting up user-led open source consortia. Please let me know. I think this is the way for countries like Oman. Of course, we will study this with our partners at the Ministry of Transport, Communication, and Information Technology, and we will come to Professor Dirk. We are really interested to do practical things. We are interested to apply what we learn from the symposium to assist Oman in coming to and progressing to reach the vision of Oman 2040. It is also my suggestion for next year. While it may appear like a repetition, my topic has a lot of staying powers. User-led open source consortia. He thinks Professor Dirk that this topic can be repeated again and again because it is a general and very important. We received also from our industrial partner from Wipro company, Mr. Gilles Gravier. The organization worked well. My connection the day of my session worked perfectly. I found the YouTube live stream very good. A colleague of mine who have registered found it worked much better than the Zoom link. So this is great. Of course, we spread this symposium through YouTube from the second session, and we have registered all the presentations, and we will attach them to our web. Anyone can see all the presentations as a YouTube. Professor Ail Moussawi from College of Education. We are happy to have people really from 4 colleges at SQU: College of Education, College of Science, College of Engineering, and College of Economics and Political Science. And that is because of the subject of the symposium that deals with intelligent education and digital economy. So he had many suggestions that we will consider them. He said to focus on pre-conference awareness towards the sort of audience you need to target. You may include more Arab-speaking lectures and Arabic sessions. Okay, that is very good. I think also we will we have one presentation in Arabic this time. And normally when we organize in-person conferences, we have many workshops in Arabic. We have many workshops in Arabic. We have many presentations in Arabic. But this is because it is an online and we need all people to understand it. We do it in English. And when we will do any other event, we'll take this into consideration. This displays some of the models exhibit of the SQU and other Omani Institute post-lab works activities during the conference proceeding. That is very good also, very good suggestion. Of course, all these things can be done when we do that, our symposium or conference physical. Really, we have always like a show, like we do always a show with companies coming to our conferences and do an exhibition with their softwares and products. And our society, we have free open source student society at SQU that consists of many students from all the colleges at the university. They are all interested with programming and free open source software, and they are working under the supervision of our center, Communication and Information Research Center, with the support of the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology. Also from FOSS research training teams, perhaps propose a dedicated national consortium. That is very good, and we will do that with the advice also from Professor Dirk in Germany. Involve the instructional technology department. That is great. We will, next time we will have more people from the colleges in the organization committee. Have one theme on the national-wide FOSS strategy and way of implementation. That is also very good suggestion, and we will take it into consideration. Our colleague from CIS department at the university, Mr. Muhammad Afrouz, also has a suggestion here, practical workshops or tutorial on how to use FOSS tools, applications to develop deep learning models. That is very good suggestion also. Over the time, educational institutions have collected huge data through online information system. For example, data related to timetable, course registration, attendance, grades, student information. Institution can leverage the power of deep learning to develop predictive models, providing useful information which can help students, instructor, administrator, parents, and government. That is very good suggestion. Thank you for that. Also, it might be good to have something specifically for a student. For example, a workshop introducing AI and machine learning through FOSS tools and application. That is very good also. And all really, when we do physical event, we do everything. We do practical workshop, and the subjects here suggested by Mr. Afrouz is very important in this time. We have some comment from Dr. Nouram Merabi from Lebanon. She was also one of our presenter and active presenter and have many suggestions for the next event. So she need to take a subject of innovation in education on innovation for all. That is the subject of her presentation, but it could be one of the theme of next event. She want to encourage our youth people to use free open source software and develop them with what is required and what is suitable for our Arab societies. And also, she recommends that we need to help students for continuing education, and all engineers and all programmers, we need to encourage them to keep continuing education, how to develop and how to use and learn the new technologies. So these are also suggestions from her for the next symposium. That is very good about digitalization and some human culture, innovation, how the innovation steps or processes in Arab countries are related to the fourth industrial revolution, how it can be with the strategies of the UNESCO, how to evaluate the innovation, how to have a good textbook or for the innovation in the colleges and the schools, sources on innovation, resources, that is very good. Skills in innovation, that will be all taken into consideration in the next event. So I would like here to say that we have a symposium webpage. You can enter it, that is the symposium webpage. You will see all the activities. We will put all the presentations that we receive and all the video YouTube recording of the presentations on that web. For example, now we have a live YouTube spreading for this session and for the other sessions before. Every time we spread it live, YouTube of every presentation will be attached. You will see also the emails of all speakers. If you need to contact them for further information, we will. They are all welcoming you and are pleased to help you and assist you. And I want to announce here that we will have a 5th international conference on a free and open source software in Muscat, Oman, in person, by attendance, inshallah, from 20 to 22 February 2023. So we have selected good dates for that, so that will be, you remember that, from 20 to 22 to 2023. So we will welcome you all to this participation. I have finished my presentation, and the floor is open for the chair of the session and for all to give us more recommendation and more suggestion. Thank you very much. Dr. Adil, floor is to you.
Thank you, Prof. Abdul Nasser. Thank you very much for the nice conclusion and for offering the comments and suggestions by the panelists, by the speakers, who have also, I think, offered very interesting and very fascinating way forward. Amazing suggestions, by the way, mashallah. So now, I don't know, are we waiting for any comments from the participant if they have any?
If they have, we are welcoming.
You guys okay, let me see. Are there any suggestions? Prof. Abdul Nasser, should we give them here email? Maybe if they have any comments, they can send us through that email.
Yes, we will send them email also for. We have sent email for all speakers. We can send email for all participants. Mr. Ahmed Al-Farisi can do that, and we can get more suggestions from the people, especially the people who attended the symposium online. really we are happy to announce that we have 350 registered participants in this symposium. That is very good. This is the first time we organize at our center a virtual symposium. This is the first time. We have always used to organize face-to-face. By attending here in Muscat, we organized 4 symposium, 4 conferences, and this symposium was a replacement because we have seen that we cannot organize a conference now, so the conference inshallah will be in 2023.
Inshallah ta'ala. It's a very good number, Prof. This is excluding the YouTube live broadcasting?
Yes, we don't we have not measured those. I think they will be more and more.
Mashallah, mumtaz. So there is in the chatting area here, there is could you please send us the link through this chat? Salam is asking the link of which link, Salam? The links of the presentation, do you mean?
Yeah, I have shown it. And we will send it by email to all registered people. We will send it by email.
Very good. Even Salam, inshallah ta'ala, you will receive an email. It will be sent to all those who have registered, inshallah. And thank you for participating. Thank you for joining us. And all other participants as well, whether today or yesterday or the first day.
So if there is no other suggestion, I would like to, I don't know whether there is any suggestion from the panelists, from the participants. They are free to give us any suggestion.
Yeah, since we will send them, Prof. Abdul Nasser, since we will send them an email, we will elicit the feedback from that email. Meanwhile, maybe we can call it off, and it was very interesting that we can conclude, yani.
Inshallah, we will do that, and really I would like to thank them all. Thank for the Ministry of Transport, Communications and Information Technology for their support, for their collaboration in the organization of this symposium. Thanks for all invited speakers, for all session chairs, for all participants, for the organizing committee. Thanks again, and we hope to see you in Muscat in February 2023, inshallah. So Dr. Adil, you can end the session if there is no other comment.
Mumtaz, Doctor. Thank you very much. This is very, Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. We end, khalas toward the end. It's a very good conclusion, and we are looking forward for the future sessions by addressing all the comments, inshallah ta'ala, and more improvement. Barakallah feekum. Then I have one meeting in 9 minutes, so excellent. Assalamu alaikum jami'an.
Thank you very much.
السلام عليكم.
شكرا دكتور نوفل. عليكم السلام. شكرا دكتور علاء. دكتور محمد سرب وينك؟
كيفك بروف؟ موجود.
حياك الله حياك.
الله يبارك فيك يا اخي. You thank all the organizing team, only me.
والله انت يعني تركتني بالوقت الصعب دكتور.
الله يعافيك ان شاء الله.
دكتور سراب موجود ولو حتى عن بعد موجود.
دكتور سراب, you have been with us. Sorry for that.
Thank you for all.
And for Dr. Sarraf, he was our deputy director of the center, for his effort. But unfortunately, he left us for certain personal affairs.
Thank you, Prof. I have been with you in the last, 3 days. I'm observing you, and all is good, and the team did well, Thank you very much. And keep doing this great work, please.
So I will say assalamu alaikum. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We can leave this link. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.